Hello, everyone, and welcome to what will be the first episode of Bar Talk, where I sit here at my bar and I talk to you guys about some sort of riveting or controversial topic. The topic that I will be talking about today, which is graduate school. So, graduate school, I have so many thoughts on this because as anyone who is a young professional probably knows, graduate school a lot of times is sort of an expected next step for you, especially maybe you've been in the working world for a couple of years, or maybe you just graduated from undergrad and you're looking to become a professor or a researcher, or maybe you're doing something that requires a higher level of degree, like being a psychologist, and you are going right to graduate school. Or maybe you're more like me and you're somebody that has more of an unconventional career but enjoys learning and thinks that a graduate degree couldn't really hurt you. And so you're sort of in a place where you can, I guess, decide for yourself if you want to do graduate school or not. But you aren't probably going to be able to be supplemented by your employer because you don't work somewhere full time, like I don't. And I mean, there's no guarantees in life. So we've all heard horror stories of people who get like $100,000 of student loan debt because they went to graduate school and then they can't find a job anywhere in their field. So I think that's kind of the current narrative around graduate school. And I think people who haven't gone to college as an undergrad don't really even experience the same like pressure or understanding of graduate school as when you've completed your undergraduate degree, since then it's a possibility for you to do it. And maybe for students who are in like your third year of school and you're thinking about applying to graduate school, or if you're going right from undergraduate to graduate school. For me, I did make a decision, and I think I might have touched on this in previous vlogs, that I am going to be going back to graduate school. So I am currently enrolled. My semester started about 3 weeks ago, um, and I'm getting a degree in psychology, actually, but it's very specific psychology of leadership, and it's designed to be perhaps more of a social science focused MBA sort of program. Um, that's how I like to think of it, and that's how I think it makes sense with their curriculum. And I'm attending Penn State University, but it is an online program. Surprise. And I have been very conflicted about it, both now in the present and then also leading up to starting the semester, and even like in the first couple weeks. I feel like I've just been anxious about what to do about it for a while. And I am at the point where I have to make like a decision about, I guess, what I'm going to be doing with it, if anything. I definitely will say that I think graduate school it is a big undertaking, and I think probably most people would agree with that. It is a lot of work, it is a lot of time and energy, and I do know that a lot of people like me, who work, do end up doing graduate school while they're still working. They don't end up quitting their jobs. And I think part of that too is just the cost, the pure cost of school, and just not being able to afford to like live without making money. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't live without earning, so I have to keep working, or else the option is like move back home and do school, but that's sort of not really an option. So yeah, so I have to keep working. It's not even really much of a choice. And I guess so the choice is like, do I do graduate school or not? And I mean, I've definitely been a little bit overwhelmed for sure. I mean, I think that's probably the biggest factor at the moment that has me questioning it, because um, when you're working full time and you're doing school, I mean, it's like you're never gonna have any free moments to yourself, and your social life's probably going to die, and it's just gonna feel like every second is taken up by something. And especially me, because I probably work more than full time. I would say probably on average I work about 50 hours a week. since I run my own consulting business and I'm also a writer. And so my job isn't really like, I go and clock in for 8 hours at work and clock out. I have a plethora of work to do in most cases. And yeah, so there's just a lot of work, and there's even a lot of back end work and stuff that I have to do for my business, and marketing and networking and things that I don't get paid for, but I have to do in order to like keep running a business. So I'm kind of thinking that maybe it's too big of an undertaking for me to do it while I'm also in the job and the position in life that I am. But I definitely know that since I'm very stubborn and I tend to be somewhat of a perfectionist and an overachiever, and I don't like to not succeed at something, even if it's something that I'm choosing to like quit. I don't like that feeling. And because I've definitely toyed around with the idea of quitting and withdrawing from school, I don't know if I actually want to quit. I don't know if I actually want to be like, for sure, I'm done with this and I'm moving on. It's tough. And, I know that if I did withdraw, this would kind of be the end of the road for me in school. Obviously, my academic record would show that I withdrawed from graduate school, which doesn't make me that happy, but I feel like that would probably prevent me from, like, I guess, doing it in the future or doing it in the near future. But I mean, I don't think I would be interested in that. Like, I feel like at this point, it's either that I do it in this program or I'm not going to do it at all. And part of me is scared, of course, that I will do all of this work, I'll get this degree, and then, I don't know, it just won't change my life at all, or it won't mean much. So it's definitely hard to, I guess, figure out how something is going to manifest when you're in the present and you're not in the future, but you need to think about the future because the decision you make now will affect the future, right? Do you know what I mean? And school is one of those things where, I mean, you do have to make a decision kind of sooner rather than later in most cases. And obviously, too, I could, like, go through the semester and then withdraw, or like take a semester off or whatever. However, I don't necessarily want to do that because I think when you start getting into that, you're just never really going to finish. So I'd love to hear your guys' I don't know, advice, or even just like what your thoughts are on graduate school. Because like I said, I know a lot of us are probably toying with the idea, or at least have been presented with the idea. So thank you everyone for watching Bar Talk, and I will be back soon with another episode.